Namaste, friends. Welcome to JewelBuzz Talks. I'm Steve Fernandez. With me is a branding and marketing communication expert, an entrepreneur for the last 2 decades, founder and CEO of Algoneering. Algoneering is a generative AI solutions company. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Aniruddha Pal. Namaste, Aniruddha. How are you?
Thank you. Good to meet you in the beginning of the year.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So even though it's 3 weeks, let's start by saying Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you too and the entire team at JewelBuzz. Thank you so much.
So Aniruddha, as I started by saying, you're currently in the AI generative space. The jewelry industry across every, discipline, jewelry designing, manufacturing, streamlining operations, ERP to a certain extent, customer solutions, AI has made its presence felt. To want for another word, it is revolutionizing all operations. Now, give us a sense of the AI ecosystem in the jewelry industry, how it's evolving. Give us a sense.
Sure. So we've been hearing about AI being integrated almost in every form, every manner, in every industry that we see, be it from fashion, be it from manufacturing, be it the daily course of life that we are into. Jewelry industry is a very layered and very complex industry to deal with, unlike any other industry. Our endeavor started 3 years back. However, we don't come from a hardcore jewelry background, but we being tech entrepreneurs, we were evaluating that how could we value add to this industry, which has immense potential. It is so dynamic, and that's where our discovery started. When we started, there was no concept of AI doing designs. It was like, oh my God, can AI do a design? So right now, the question that we are facing is, can it do a better design? It's already designing. It's already giving you a lot of generative results like ChatGPT's different versions. But having said that, this industry today are ideating and exploring the problem statements that they're facing on a daily basis. A very demanding industry. But there is a certain problem statements, I believe, that needs to be very concretely put onto paper, that what problem are we solving? What is the problem statement that we're going through on a daily basis? I remember an expert talking about in the field that let us not expect AI to do everything. The entire purpose is that even if it does 20% of the job 1,000 times more efficient, it still serves the purpose. But if we wait till the eureka moment that I will use it till it is absolutely to my need and it is 100% correct, AI hasn't reached that stage in any field. Right now, if you compose an Instagram post, there will be a lot of options which AI is generating. That do you want this post to be grammatically correct? Do you want it to be funny? Do you want it to be in a certain way? So you just click that and it is done.
Yeah.
So what are we eventually doing is something that if we can save time by doing repetitive work through AI, that really value adds. And that is what the industry should ideate. And that is what we have been trying to explore with on a daily basis when we talk to an organization as to what is your need and what do you need AI for? Because every organization has different set of problems. Every organization looks at design in a different perspective. I cannot have one engine or one solution for all of them.
Yes.
So customization, value driven, understanding the language of the industry are these three things that we have been dealing with last few years. And we still not hit the ground, but yeah, we've made significant progress.
So, this what is your need narrative, I want to understand whether it has been understood across all segments. As I said, operations, customer relationship management, CRM. So has the what is your need narrative been understood across all?
So
And
Steve, with the experiences, I would rightly put forward to my actual experiences rather having a Chinese whisper. So our dealing and talking to industry leaders face to face and working for a lot of them, trying to help them relieve their problem, gave us a lot of ground realities. However, we want to adopt AI. There are a lot of, I would say, not challenges and concern, but things to do in the list that needs to be done if we really need to progress with AI and technology. However, in operations, there are a lot of man-made errors which can be streamlined with better SOPs. There are a lot of deadline issues that can be avoided if the problem is solved from the beginning, from the time when we have a design brief in place. We understand that manufacturers face a lot of deadline issues because they need to generate concepts and produce at a particular time frame if the order is from very reputed brands and
yes,
bigger brands. We have seen that there is a creative fatigue happening. We have seen there is a dearth of finding original concepts at a super timely manner. uh, Everybody is glued to the Instagram or Pinterest or other online available tools to find inspiration.
yes,
So inspiration, getting the right inspiration is the key. That is where generative art and generative AI is doing a great job. However, from our perspective, when it is jewelry, perhaps there has to be certain platforms which are very jewelry focused in giving you original inspirations. You can get a lot of inspiration from other available generic tools, but then how much of you will take? How soon would you tweak it to make it your industry friendly? Something that the team has to put a certain mechanics in place. Uh, Unfortunately, fortunately, there are resources that needs to be allocated. There is upgradation and training of the existing team that needs to be there. There has to be a strong IT team which looks after the back end and the front end. All of them, when they are in place, is when you can have a very good AI system and ecosystem done for an organization. But if the sole objective is that okay, AI does it and I don't need to allocate resources, that perhaps might not fly for long run. It needs
Anirudh, Anirudh, in fact, you have already sort of partly answered my question, what I was going to ask. I said penetration and acceptance from the industry. Have they understood what they need to do before really accepting it?
uh, if I am politically correct, if I may say so, the excitement in the industry is large with respect to uh, adopting AI because AI is the buzzword that's happening. I have attended a lot of shows. I've seen a lot of seminars. There is a lot of sales oriented WhatsApp marketing happening through AI that we've seen in the last big exhibition. A phenomenal job that's happening where the AI and the technology is helping people to sell. The need of AI is, I would rather not call it artificial. It's a very negative connotation from my perspective. Artificial is something which is negative, which is something which is not real, which is also in a way happened with the lab grown industry initially. People called it as Nakli diamond. It is not. So eventually it changed the narrative to mine diamonds and diamonds which are lab grown having equal characteristics. However, the price changes. Similarly, this is machine intelligence. Now the machine can only function when you are trained with information.
Yes,
Machine cannot emote and think on its own, however advanced we are. So the industry needs to have a certain information made available in a certain way so that the machine can be really trained well and make it more sharper to value add to the industry. Now, a machine without information, like a laptop without any software, is just a good looking device. You can't do anything about it.
yes.
Like we are communicating over a video conferencing. If we did not have Zoom, what was the use of the laptop and the machine? So similarly, for AI, we need to know from the industry, and the industry needs to be receptive and confident and less insecure with data and information. Otherwise, we can collect third party information, but Steve might not like it. XYZ might not like it. You will say, okay, these are not my design sensibilities.
Yes.
We can, our human designers can do better.
Mm.
But then we are dependent on what's available, open source. We cannot go and randomly copy from any other brand. You know, if we have to customize, it's like if I give a shirt of mine, which is beautiful, can you wear it? You won't. Similarly, vice versa. So I feel information and data should be democratized, and that's something that is very important. Tool for it to be successful
So from what
is
you're
what I
saying, the news, from what you're saying, the news out there is penetration and acceptance is happening, but slowly, not the pace we expected.
I yeah, I own really point out that there are a lot of reasons, however, that it's there are organizational protocols, there are awareness issues, there could be less aware tech team, because initially a tech team in any manufacturing organization are eventually for handling their database and ERP, maybe a little bit. But when it comes AI, which is a very, very specialized field in the business, the industry, they do not have such large scale resources deployed on their payroll to implement. Unlike very big retail brands, they might have an AI team, people from the IITs or from US. Yes, but for the B2B, for manufacturers and brands, software is a very costly affair. And if we really want to have a paradigm shift, yes, we need to, the least that we can do is make data and information available in a certain way, maintaining the security protocols. And that's where we can do a lot of great job. If you may allow, digressing a bit, uh, Tata Memorial Hospital, which is a leading cancer research center, with the government of India, have made last 30 to 40 years MRI data available to all healthcare AI developers.
Exactly. I've heard of that.
Today, a scan happens, the AI has gobbled up trillions of GB of data to study cancer when the MRIs are made. And today, when a new MRI is done, they give you a predictive information of where you stand in the next few years. And that sounds very magical spontaneously, but there's a lot of data that has been democratized in a certain way. So yeah.
Thank you for those insights. Now, coming back, so Algoneering now is seeing these challenges. So, come, the obvious side of a coin, challenges and opportunities. Take us through the.
Yes, making it crisp. When we started out, we were trying to understand the entire ecosystem of how an industry, manufacturing happens in a jewelry. From a retail brand, it goes to a manufacturer, and then how the brief is decoded, how concepts are given, then how approvals are done, how it's manufactured, what are the problems. So initially, the first year went into research and development to understand where exactly AI can fit into. We started with manufacturing, thinking that AI has a great role to play there, but then we realize it's like a toying between man-made errors and trying to understand what technology could solve. Then we realized that more than AI, the industry perhaps would need a very strong SOP, which necessarily doesn't have to be an AI. It is an SOP that should be implemented to ensure that once the order is given to a manufacturer, everything is precisely and very Six Sigma. Then we went into the stage where we understood that if a design brief is well understood and well decoded, and if we can really submit concepts at breakneck speed and get some great inspiration, perhaps that timeline saving can help the entire ecosystem deal with timely delivery. So product development is where we figured out AI fits and still fits in well. And then the concern was, how can AI design a jewelry piece? The question mark few years back, that is it really possible that AI can design a ring or a necklace or a pendant? How will it understand different elements and materials of a product? You know, so the challenge was that how do we train a machine to understand the characteristics of a jewelry piece, different compositions, materials, cuts, style, stones. It looked really a great wall to climb. But then uh, generative models available. uh, our team did a lot of research, did some good bad ugly designs. We got a feedback from the industry, no, this is not going to fly. We need realistic inspirations. Chat GPT came into the place, a lot of other tools came into the place. We tried to understand large models, what data is available, because sharing of data then was still a problem. you know uh, no organization would want to uh, share data to a third party without knowing the way ahead in AI. It's like opening your
Yes.
locker and you don't know what's going to happen. So those unsurety and insecurity, because that time people weren't hearing much. It was just AI, but about giving my valuables to you, and then I don't know what happens, was a big issue that we were dealing with then. Progress towards where organizations started believing in us, started with smaller data. We try to understand if the AI can really understand those design, and can it procreate better design. That's how the journey started in design generation. And then while people were using it, they always came back that, can it do this? Can I design variation? Can I get variations? Can I get more outputs? Can it be more realistic? Can it give me the same diamond color that I have, so that I can send it to a client? And the wants and needs are still on. But there are challenges. We are a self-funded group, and data is something which is immensely expensive to get. And so, yeah, so with collaborative efforts, we are going at a decently slow pace, but a bigger specialization to begin with. And that's where we are. We are constantly trying to evolve and create new value adds.
Thank you. Nice to know that. So, I mean, there is what do you say, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, as they say. There's always hope and
Yes.
optimism. Anirudh, before we let you go, let's look into the crystal ball. Across segments, you spoke, deep insights in jewelry designing, but across segments, the entire AI ecosystem, as I previously just mentioned, CRM and AI in operations, and the enterprise resource planning as such. Looking to the crystal ball, what's along the outlook for this year and beyond? The way ahead. Your comments?
Yeah. So the way I look at uh, a year or year and a half from today, uh, I think customization is going to be the key, because by now, as we speak, there are a lot of online generative AI platforms that are made available, tons of them. So people are using it individually. Some organization might be using it to see what results it gives, but eventually, after a point, uh, they will burn out with respect to outputs, because they are trained with a limited amount of available jewelry data. Our focus for the year, and it's a long journey, and that is how we differentiate ourselves, that if the AI can understand the design language and the jewelry language better, with a customization and collaborative effort by the organization, making the machine help to identify their data, and with which we can build successful strong models. That is where the value lies. Customization with value driven goals, and data in a structured manner, information in a structured manner, trying to create a customized workflow. That is what is going to work, and that's I won't say that that's going to happen soon. It is a mind shift rather a tech shift. Unless there is a mind shift, and how you are organizing your organization dynamics backend, until then the penetration will be slower. Having said that, the intent has to be very, very strong that we need to build a very
Yes.
strong AI vertical in the company, which eventually give us efficiency, productivity, and the cash registered will eventually affect positively. But to do that, there are a lot of backend integration that needs to be done. There are a lot of team upgradation, skill development that needs to be done, and and yes, and customization, as I said, is the key. Otherwise, everything is going to be very generic and same.
Thank you. In this VUCA world, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and
Yes.
everything else you can never predict. But to a certain sense, there's a hope and optimism that things
Yes,
will get
absolutely,
better.
absolutely,
For your
absolutely.
valuable time and inputs, thank you so much. From
And
me and the team at
JewelBuzz is doing
JewelBuzz,
a yeah,
wishing
and
you all the very
JewelBuzz,
best.
you're doing a great job in communicating that story. So we want the industry to come forward, like we see the council coming forward in many many ways. If the council or the industry, along with your help, comes together for people like us and many more like us to ensure that we create successful models, it'll be a great future to look at.
Thank you.
Thank
Namaste.
you so much.
Thank you so much.
Nice to
Pleasure
meet you.
meeting you. Bye.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.